When I was a kid, for a long time in my bedroom, I didn't have a television. I didn't even have a radio. I would eventually get a clock radio, but if I wanted to entertain myself, I had to use either the portable record player, which sometimes I had to fight my sisters for, or I had to read. My family encouraged the reading especially, but they encouraged a very specific type of reading. They had gotten me a lot of children's books when I was very young, but as I grew out of them, they didn't replace them with literature for slightly older kids. Instead, they got me a set of encyclopedias and a set of history encyclopedias. I never really questioned any of it. These were just books, and they were filled with lots of cool, interesting stuff, which I dipped into almost every night before bed, up until I got a television, of course. I especially enjoyed the history encyclopedias, which were filled with facts mostly about history from the 18th century on, and I would often fall asleep with historical moments or people in my head, and I would dream about time traveling. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that I became obsessed with anything related to time travel. Time traveling books, alternative history, time traveling movies, and of course, time traveling TV shows, which are, in my opinion, few and far between. Before Quantum Leap, which is a show I really enjoyed, there was a TV show called Voyagers. It only ran for one season, but it was delightful. It gave me everything I wanted in a show. It had a kid who was kind of smart and he really liked history. It had action. Plus, it was the type of show that I could lure my grandmother away from 60 Minutes to watch because it was up against 60 Minutes. And she wasn't watching it because she liked history. She watched it because the lead character in the show, I think she thought he was hunky. So I could get her to watch that with me. On today's show, I'd like to talk to you about this TV show, Voyagers. We'll talk about the people in front of and behind the camera. We'll talk a little bit about the plot, the music, and we'll throw in a few surprises here and there. We have an info-packed episode ahead of us, so without further ado, let's start the show.